The Brexit Party is in chaos and division. We discuss the rumours about Boris Johnson offering Nigel Farage a peerage, and we travel to Ipswich as part of our election tour. Now, let's talk about the whole issue between the Tory party and the Brexit party. As you know, towards the end of last week, the nominations closed. But what actually happened? Because Nigel Farage a couple of weeks ago came out and said that he won't stand in Conservative seats because he didn't want to. He wants Boris Johnson to win the election, but he wants the Brexit party to get a few MPs to basically keep him to account. Now, is this actually possible? Because what happened was, towards the end of the last minute, basically, before the nominations closed, a number of Brexit Party officials, candidates and members went against Nigel Farage. A number of them decided to stand down. The rest of them advised the rest of the party to stand down, and this happened. First, it started in Canterbury when the Brexit Party candidate last minute decided not to stand. This means Anna Firth, the Conservative candidate, now has a chance to win this seat. And this was followed by other candidates from the Brexit Party to withdraw their candidacy on their own. One included Rupert Lowe, an MEP for West Midlands, who said that he's putting country before party, as he warned that he could have cost the Conservatives the seat by standing. This was a seat of Ian Austin, the former Labour MP, who also stood down from the Labour Party to endorse Boris Johnson. He told his own voters to vote Conservative. This was a seat with a majority of 22 for Labour, which means if the Brexit Party, well, now that Brexit Party is not standing, the Conservatives have a chance to win it back. Another candidate was the candidate for Hove, Andy Wood, who also said that he was putting the national interest first. We also had a number of MEPs, including John Longworth, who said that in his opinion that the Brexit Party should focus its efforts on a limited number of constituencies which it thinks it can win, and on the constituencies where it can split the Labour vote. We also had Lance Forman, who said that at this late hour I call upon all Conservative and Brexit Party candidates in leave voting constituencies to meet and decide who will be the most popular and allow the weaker one to stand aside. And this resulted in an addition of 39 Brexit Party candidates to stand down at the last minute. We have the list of the seats where the Conservatives will be on their own against Labour and the Lib Dems or the SNP in Scotland. Seats that include, we have obviously Liverpool, Walton, and we also, in terms of North East Fife, a number of obviously Scottish seats, a lot of Scottish seats actually, and also Canterbury and the others that we discussed earlier. Then a new problem we have is that Nigel Farage has now gone on media and said that the Conservative Party offered him a peerage and a number of candidates' jobs to stand down. Now, this could be quite serious because obviously the division between these two parties is getting ridiculous, and the Conservatives are rejecting this rumour. The Brexit Party are saying this happened, and we're waiting for an evidence, so I'm not going to pick any side at this point because it makes absolutely no sense. It's likely that someone might have made a phone call, and it's also likely that nothing actually happened. There were some maybe soft talks about a potential offering something, but we don't know at this point, and now there's an investigation going around for some reason. So let's wait to see what happens there, and we'll keep you posted. I don't think we should just take either side's words for it because we don't know exactly what's happened. But all this is actually changing the way the opinion polls are looking at the parties, especially when it comes to the working classes in the north and across the country who used to vote Labour, and also in the past UKIP and the Brexit Party. They've completely switched directly from Labour to the Conservatives. This isn't the first time, because back in 2017 we had a lot of working class Labour voters directly switching to the Conservatives. So this stereotype of mentality of thinking that a lot of Labour working classes in the north of England would never vote Conservative is untrue, because they did that in May 2017 with the local elections, but also June 2017 with the general election. And Theresa May, despite her terrible campaign and leadership, she managed to increase the share of vote for the Conservative Party because of the working class vote. Now, the latest opinion polls show that the Conservatives are currently on 45%. This is the highest they've had, and Labour on 30%, Lib Dems, I don't know what's going on there, 11%, and the Brexit Party's support is collapsing. because the majority are coming back to the Conservative Party. This also shows the percentage of the blue-collar and working-class support, which is 45% for the Conservatives and 28% for Labour. And this is the first time that the working-class voters, 47% of them, are now backing the Boris Johnson and the Tories, with 27% backing Jeremy Corbyn's socialism. And the Tories obviously are also winning the middle class votes, which the Lib Dems should be targeting, and they're struggling at 19%. Now, considering these opinion polls, if things stand as it is, which is highly unlikely because things change a lot, the Conservative Party could get a majority of 138, which is huge. They will get 394 seats, and Labour will be on 190. The Brexit Party won't get any seats, and the Lib Dems would struggle at 9. Now, we have to clarify that this is the current position of the polls, and I know that a lot of people also say that polls don't matter, they lie, they're wrong. The issue is polls are usually wrong with the 3%, the margin of error, but also this is the first past the post system, the way the elections work. In the 2017 election, the polls didn't lie, because towards the end of the election, the polls actually showed that the parties were neck and neck, and it was absolutely right. The polls were wrong when it came to the Brexit referendum, obviously, because it was a whole different type of vote. It was a national vote. It wasn't based on constituencies in that sense. It wasn't first past the post, obviously. So the pollsters there didn't have the full data, and that's what they admitted, that they didn't actually know how to calculate it. So that's why that was wrong. But when it comes to the general elections, it's usually quite accurate, apart from the 3% margin of error. So again, unless the Boris Johnson launches the manifesto next week and messes it up, things, the way it's going, the Conservatives would get a majority, which is good for Brexit, obviously, and other issues that we have. So we'll keep you guys posted, especially on the rumours about the whole peerage stuff. But now, this weekend we travelled to Ipswich to report from that constituency. As you know, we're having an election tour on this channel. And so let's have a look at what's happened there. We met with the candidate, the Conservative candidate, but also as a Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, Tousi. So we're out here in Ipswich with the Conservative candidate, Tom Hunt. We're going to speak to him to see how everything's going here. So how's the campaign going here?
Really good. We've since the start of the campaign, I've spoken to over 3,000 people, and the message about getting Brexit done, it's resonating with people. People want to get it done and delivered. Firstly, because a lot of them think Brexit is a good thing, a good opportunity, but actually there's another group of people who just want it to be done because they respect democracy, and also because they want us to move on to start focusing on the issues they most care about, which is investing into our schools, investing into our NHS, and investing into our police service as well. So yes, we've had a good morning today, spoken to a lot of people. We've had Trace Coffey out with us, who's the Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, and we've had some lifelong Labour voters who are this time lending me their vote. They're lending me their vote because they want Brexit to be delivered, but also because they do not want Jeremy Corbyn outside number 10 before Christmas. So if you do have any spare time between now and the 12th of December, and you want to come to a seat where it matters, please come and support me here in Ipswich. Thank you.
And what's the situation? What's the mood here with the Brexit Party? Are they standing? Are they not?
The Brexit Party are standing a candidate here, like they are in most of the target seats that the Conservatives are looking to gain from Labour. What I can say is, having got 3,000 voting intentions over the last 2 weeks, only 13 people have said they're going to be planning to vote for the Brexit Party. So the media may be slightly obsessed about a Brexit Party and any impact they're going to have, but what I'm experiencing is that pretty much all the Leave voters who I've spoken to are supporting Boris, and they're voting Conservative because they can see it's only by voting Conservative that we deliver Brexit. The thing about a Brexit Party is, almost the better the Brexit Party do, the less chance of Brexit actually happening. So it's a strange situation, but they're backing Boris, and long may that continue.
So you've come to Ipswich. How's the campaign going here and everything?
Well, I'm Therese Coffey. I'm actually candidate next door, but I'm delighted to be out here supporting Tom Hunt. Ipswich is one of those areas that does swing around depending on, goes with the general flow. And I think it's important that we get Tom back. The local MP has been, candidly not very good at really pushing stuff for Ipswich, and we need the energy of somebody like Tom, as well as getting Brexit done. There's no doubt that's resonating on the doorstep. Also, people do not want Corbyn around here. Those people who voted Labour in the past, they're traditional Labour, they don't like what they see. That doesn't mean we should be complacent. We're working very hard to make sure we get Tom Hunt and Boris Johnson back into number 10.
And you've been out canvassing today. What's been the reception that you've got?
Largely positive. As I say, there's a lot of people who've not voted Conservative before and are very keen to make sure that they have an MP who will respect the referendum, get Brexit done, as well as they've also seen that they need somebody who's going to be really properly connected, working hard to make sure that Ipswich gets its fair share and gets the recognition it deserves from central government.
Now, as you know, we are having an election tour on this channel. We're travelling around the country. Tomorrow, on Monday, we will be around Stevenage and Hartlepool. We'll keep you guys posted. If you want to know exactly where I'm going to be and what time, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll also do a post on YouTube itself on the community page if you want to stay up to date. Later tonight, I'll let you know exactly what the plan is for Monday. And next week, we're also going to go to the Midlands and the North again. So towards the end of next week, we'll be in Manchester. So Bury North, Hazel Grove and other places. So again, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. As always, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell next to it so you get notified when I release a new video. If you want to check out our merchandise page, we have obviously the new t-shirts. All I want for Christmas is Brexit. And we also have other designs for t-shirts and other merchandise if you want to check them out. As always, I'm Tousi, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.